Alrighty folks, good afternoon and welcome to Stormtopia.com or whenever you're viewing this video. Here's what we're going to do. Now that we're getting into a more active period of storminess as we get into the potential storm right around just before Halloween, we're going to be posting the videos in the afternoon so we can give you the most data as we analyze it through the day. Okay, so that's how we're going to do things. Videos will on average be released between 3 and 4 p.m. each day until the storm is done. Let's go over the storm memo. Alright, of course we're looking at around the 28th, 27th, 28th, 29th. The Euro model has a second storm that sort of goes behind the first clipper, and I'm going to show you what we're talking about in just a bit. The GFS least valuable player in the game right now, LVP. It's really not putting out anything that I would trust. One of the good models is the NAM. It's doing a good job of the placement of the heaviest snow, but I do think it's overdoing it. Alright. Out of control, in fact, overdoing it. It has 8 to 12 inches in parts of southern New England, including Boston. Stay tuned, folks. That's the number one thing. Of course, teleconnections at the bottom corner of your screen. Always slightly positive NAO, rapidly rising Arctic oscillation, slightly negative Pacific North American pattern, and a positive quasi-biennial oscillation. Let's take a look at my first call snowfall totals. I've seen enough consistency. I've done the math. A lot of models are overdoing snow for the reason that the ratios are not being calculated in. They're using a 10 to 1 ratio or a 12 to 1 ratio, when really we're going to be dealing with a 6 or 7 to 1 ratio. The snow is going to be incredibly wet, and it's also going to come with some rain. It's also going to have trouble sticking for the first few hours. So that means the model is showing, like the 12Z NAM, showing crazy amounts of snowfall, are probably not going to verify. Although, here's what I'm basically thinking right now. New York, Boston, anywhere between nothing and 2 inches. Probably Boston's going to be closer to 2 inches than nothing. Alright, and this is just the first clipper. This is just the first storm that moves through. This is not the coastal storm. Alright? People always misquote me because whenever we get into long duration winter events, there's multiple things that I'm forecasting for. This is round 1. Alright? 2 to 4 inches for most of interior southern New England, central New England, eastern central New York State, northeast Pennsylvania. 4 inches or greater in the northern Worcester Hills, Berkshires, outside of the Pioneer Valley, and probably the Catskills of New York. Notice I have a sharp northerly cutoff. It remains to be seen how far north the snow is going to spread across northern New England. I don't have a ton of viewers from there, so I'm not overly worried about how that's going to work out, but there remains to be seen. Now let's go over just the 12Z NAM. For round 1, just this quick clipper pushing through. 8 inches, come on! Well, I'm going to show you why it has 8 inches in some areas that you would really question. This is a questionable forecast, and that's being nice about it. Being nice to the NAM, because we always want to be nice to the NAM. The models have feelings too. Here is the 12Z NAM with all that crazy amount of snow. Here's the snowfall, crazy. Here is the 12Z NAM. Now here we are at 18Z Wednesday. Storm's ready to move in. Alright. This is tomorrow afternoon. We're getting some showers pushing through. You can see that one really doesn't work out. But what it does is it develops a second one. And here we are. This is actually all rain falling. Alright. But what it does is it sort of pushes northward and tries to develop a new weak low pressure center to the south, and then pulls in a ton of cold air just in time for a pretty good dumping of snowfall in this region. So that's basically why it's putting this out. Now, actually, if you look at my snowfall map, and then you look at the 18Z NAM, or here's my snow, here's the 18Z NAM, you can see that I'm actually placing the heaviest bands similar to where the NAM is. The difference is that the NAM is really overdoing it. Take a look at the GFS. GFS, I think, is not doing a great job. It does an okay job. I think it's a little bit too far north of the low. It's a little bit, it brings the snow into areas that I would not expect. I would expect it to be a little bit further south. Alright, Boston, this is probably your first snow of the season. Alright, European is developing that massive storm behind it. Let's take a look at that. For certain reasons, I'm not allowed to show the European off the AccuWeather Pro site, so I have Storm Vista up here. Not sure why there's that rule, but here we go. And basically, that's that first low pushing through. Here's the second one. Only the European shows this, but the European might be the MVP, the most valuable player in this forecast. It's been doing a great job of consistency. I think it's really got the storm nailed down for round 1. It's the only model showing round 2. But if you remember, how many times was the GFS bringing the storm offshore last year, and then the European had it the whole time, and the European backed away 4 days out, and then it came back, and then the GFS came back, and then there was a big storm. Alright, if you don't remember it, don't worry about it, but this might be the sort of pattern, because the GFS was showing the storm for a week. Alright, for a week it was showing the same solution, and the European it's sort of backed off, but now the European is sticking with it. Alright, I think this is too far east anyway. I think the heaviest snow would be in the Appalachians. Again, I'm not allowed to post too many images of the Euro where I like them, but I will, because I love you guys so much. I've got an interpreted snowfall map. If the 12s of Euro were to verify this is how much snow would fall, you'd probably add a couple inches to the map if you live in the Appalachians, as the 4 to 8 spreads down all the way through Western Virginia. Kind of messed up there. But otherwise, this is basically what would happen. Boston, Hartford, 4 to 8. And this is round 1. This is the coastal storm and round 1 combined. Alright, total snow. 8 to 12 plus inches. Western Massachusetts, southern New Hampshire. Kind of like the NAM, except the NAM sort of does something similar in that it brings in the second low. Okay, so that's sort of similarity. Alright, but the difference is that the NAM brings in the low from land, and the European brings it from the ocean. Alright, and usually when we're dealing with something from the ocean, it is more significant, and that is basically being shown. Alright, so that is basically a rundown of the guidance. I've showed you everything I think you need to be shown. And what I encourage you to do, if you're viewing this on stormtopia.com, go to our Facebook page. Alright, well, like it. Alright, like the Facebook page first, so you can do that from any page on Stormtopia. Go to our Facebook page, and we have got tons of information always available on the Facebook page. Intermediate updates between forecast videos. It's a really great way to stay in touch with me and everyone in Stormtopia. Well, that's it for now, everybody. Thank you for checking in, and stay safe out there.